Hey, bros, we're back. This time, the Eastern Conference. You either just saw our Western Conference rankings, just watched them, or you're just seeing these ones, in which case, check out the Western ones.
Because those are good as well.
Those are good as well. Like we said, we'll do a little intro just in case this is the first one they're watching. Basketball,
Season has returned.
more our thing.
We'll be honest here.
We're much smarter when it comes to basketball than wrestling because we've been there
Done that.
always.
Looking back.
Always.
Too much time.
So anyways, the way we're going to do it, if you didn't watch the first one yet, we're just going to go back and forth. We're going to rank the Eastern Conference teams starting at 15th all the way to number 1, and we'll just rotate. Unless we have the same one, then we'll butt in and say it at the same time because it just saves time, and that way you don't have to hear the exact same exclamation twice.
I agree with that.
You want to start it off? I have a feeling we have the same here. Maybe.
Orlando? Orlando's my 15th best team. Who's Orlando's best player?
Victor Oladipo.
Exactly. He wasn't even the best player in his own college team.
Tobias Harris. Raw.
Maurice Harkless.
Raw.
That's the making of a team that's going to win 14 games where it's so much fun to watch him, but at the same time you're just like, what are these guys
It's the
doing?
Wizards a couple years ago. John Wall's rookie season.
100%. That's exactly what this team is. Oladipo is not ready to carry a team.
And Oladipo's not John Wall either.
No.
I'll put that out there.
But they actually have some talent besides with Mo Harkless.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. But we'll see who yours is, and then I'll probably agree with you there.
Philadelphia 76ers.
They're not 14.
Okay, and the Magic are my 14.
All right, so you talk about why.
So,
talk about why you
I'll
think
talk about this.
Philly's
Okay,
worse.
yeah. So Philly, the only reason I think they're worse is because you look at everything. Their big off-season pickup is out for the year, most likely. Nerlens Noel. They traded Jrue Holiday. The only thing they had going for them. Remember back when they had Andre Iguodala?
Ooh.
Remember back when they had, I don't know, I think they still have Elton Brand. Actually, I don't think they still. It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter because he's old and washed up now.
Nerlens.
Their best player might be Tony Roten.
That's not far off, actually.
And you know what? He's the kind of guy who might scrap him in some wins. He's going to lose in a whole lot of games.
Yeah.
He beats The Rock.
I feel like I don't have to explain why they're so bad because I can explain why they're why they're just not good. Think about it.
There's nothing good about him.
Here's a fun. Let's all play this game. Can you name 3 players on the Philadelphia 76ers?
Tony Roten Jr., Evan Turner, and Spencer House.
Did you guys get that? Hopefully you guys won that as well.
Yeah.
And of those 3 players,
none of them are really worth writing home about.
The reason there was that fun game, not so much that you can't name 3, but it's funny that those were the 3, and like if you were to say name 3 players on the Heat, Wade, Bosh, James. Yeah. Those are the 3 best players. You named Evan Turner, Tony Roten, and Spencer Hawes. 2
out of the 3 guys are from Seattle. That's the reason why I know they're on the team.
That's not a good 3 people to think of.
Yeah. Speaking of, sorry.
No, I'm done. So, and I had Magic 14 for why he said they're 15. They're bad. Yeah. Victor Oladipo is not the answer.
Sadly, my 13th best team is the Milwaukee Bucks.
I have them a little higher. I mean, a little higher. So you can go.
Ersan Ilyasova carrying the team. Let's see. Who else do they even got on that squad? They got Larry Sanders blocking shots.
That's my boy. That's the key. That's the key right there.
Yeah,
I'll get to Larry Sanders.
They have 21 feet of really athletic center. That's the exact opposite of when the Sonics had 21 feet of useless center. Because these guys all just block shots. But they're going to win games 70-66. Mm-hmm. Who's going to score on that team?
Ersan.
Ersan's a rebounder.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's not a good time for the Bucks. They're holding out for LeBron. Shout out to the coach, man.
What number are we on? 13? I have the Charlotte Bobcats. I have much respect for Michael Kidd-Gilchrist. I really do. Michael Jordan, I have less respect for you as you get older, but I still like you.
I have a little bit higher. Continue.
And I just don't see it. I really don't. Shout out to Gerald Henderson, though. Because Gerald Henderson's on that team, and he was my Duke, bro.
Yeah.
And Kemba, you're Kemba Walker. But at the same time, you have to play the Heat a lot of times. I feel bad for you for that. It's always fun to watch, though. You always get killed by a lot. So it's fun for me, but I feel bad for you guys because at some point it's going to click, and Kemba Walker is going to go nuts, and Michael Kidd-Gilchrist is going to figure it all out, and they're just going to go,
Bismack. Biombo.
yeah, Bismack Biyombo.
Big Al.
No, we don't.
You
I
met
left him
Big
out.
Al.
I left him out for in this jersey, and I told him not to whoop that ass. And what did they do? They whooped that ass.
He just laughed.
That was LeBron's first. I have that picture of me and Al Jefferson. It's a good time.
Al Jefferson's just like, hey.
It was a good time. My cousin's like, "You're not gonna say that," and I said, "Really? You think I'm scared of Al Jefferson?
Yeah,
He's a nice guy." So yeah, I left Al Jefferson out for many reasons. One, because he used to play on the Utah Jazz. It means he's infected.
Yeah.
And so yeah, that's. I mean, they have pieces to build on. I just don't think they're there yet.
They're 3 years away.
Yeah, they're
2 years away.
they're on a good pace though. Like I like the way they're headed.
Yeah.
But just not right now.
This year's draft will help them a whole lot because there's a lot of talented
Last
dudes.
year's draft was so bad.
Yeah,
This
this is
year's
a
will be
good. This
much
is a good
better.
one. Yeah. So we're on to 11 now. 12.
No. Did you say you're 13?
My 13 was Milwaukee.
Then
My
you're
13.
you're 12.
My 12 is Atlanta.
I have them so much higher.
I don't believe in
A
it.
lot higher.
Starting Kyle Korver as your shooting guard. He should jack up some threes for you. I'm not a big fan of Jeff Teague. Is he better than a lot of point guards in the NBA? I really don't think so. I think if you were to list out all the point guards 1 to 30 that are starting, he's going to be between 12 and 18, and he's their best player.
Oops.
I mean, they got Horford. They don't have Josh Smith anymore.
Nope, he's gone.
I can't name a third player on that team. Lavoy Collins. I don't know. That's the thing. When I looked at their depth chart, I got a weird feeling that they just sucked, and I had to pick really hard between them and like Orlando for like which one sucks worse. But I ended up picking they were a little bit better because at least they had one guy in Al Horford who actually was good at basketball.
Mm-hmm.
Who's your 12?
50, 40, 30, 12. Boston Celtics, led by thy leader, Kelly Olynyk.
I have them so much higher.
Machine. Do you really?
11.
Okay, good. I was going to say, don't play with my heart like that.
Machine. Go ahead.
Kelly Olynyk, you guys. He is about to lead them directly to the 12 spot. And it's going to be such a fun journey.
When they win the lotto?
Yeah, because Rondo's going to come back, and Rondo's going to be like, wait a second. Remember when y'all thought I was the number one point guard in the league? Maybe that's not the case when I don't have 3 Hall of Famers to pass to. Rajon Rondo gets exposed this year, and I've been waiting for this for 4 years. So I'm so excited, Blaze. I'm so excited.
No,
So I've been waiting for that because nothing against Rajon Rondo. I always have him on my fantasy team. I like he's he's okay.
Stats, yeah.
I like him,
Looking guy.
but I think he finally gets exposed this year, and I finally get proven right. AKA when I say if he wasn't surrounded by 3 Hall of Famers, he'd be nothing. So I look forward to getting proven right this year. That's my boy Kelly Olynyk, I'll be pulling for you,
That's
bros.
why they're my 11. I vouch everything you said. Who's your 11?
50, 40, 30, 12, 11. Bucks, bros.
Do you vouch everything I said?
Yep, I have the Bucks, bros.
They're, them being better than Boston, I can understand. They're so interchangeable down there with the bad teams. And
The bottom of the East is a good time,
Yeah.
as you can see.
the bottom of the East and the second tier of the East are very fun.
Yeah.
Very interchangeable. So we're on to 10 now?
Yep.
I got the Wizards.
Okay, I don't, so I'll let you go.
I got, like John Wall, awesome, but at the same time, he's been shell-shocked. He's in the old Iverson mode where you give Iverson so much responsibility. Imagine if you would have surrounded Allen Iverson with when he was starting to pick things up as being the man. Start putting him next to guys like Bradley Beal who want to shoot a whole lot.
Yeah.
You put in Otto Porter, who I think might have been one of the worst picks in the first round.
Absolutely.
Why are you picking that guy so high? That's what bad franchises do. And you Wizards, you are a bad franchise. Why aren't you the Bullets again? I don't know. The Wizards aren't all that enticing. They don't have very good big guys. Isn't their best big guy Mecca Okafor? And
They have Nene.
okay, so they have a guy who had cancer at one point and a guy who has HCM.
Yeah, so
That's their bigs.
Mm-hmm.
They need a big guy in the worst way. They should have picked Nerlens Noel and sat him for a year.
Yeah.
Because they're still away.
Yeah.
But they got to try to win now. I understand that. I get that. Bradley Beal, I don't entirely get all that much as a player.
Yeah.
He shoots a lot.
But
Solid.
he's the second coming of Ray Allen, said Chad Ford.
Chad Ford's not the best when it comes back
Oh,
outside. I
absolutely.
respect Chad Ford because he puts in the work, but at the same time, he's got his biases like we all do.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Anyway, who's your 10, 11?
I think it's 10.
10, yeah.
Toronto, Canada Raptors.
Ooh, wow. I've been a lot higher.
They've got your boys, Rudy Gay. Got your boy, Terrence Ross. They got your boy, DeMar DeRozan. But at the same time, they don't have LeBron James.
Fair enough.
And that's what I'm holding them against.
I'll talk about them later why I think they're higher.
12 out of 10. Yeah, so I have the Raptors at 10. It's just like I'll give them credit. They went on a run last year, and they were, once they got Rudy Gay, they were giving people like maybe they're going to come all the way back and make the playoffs in a horrible East, maybe. But at the same time, I'm not big on Rudy Gay. I look at Rudy Gay how I look at Andre Iguodala. I put them like those.
Great role players.
Yeah, I have them in the same. And hell, I'm not too crazy to say that Terrence Ross might not end up being one of their best players. Do they still have Kyle Lowry?
Yeah, they haven't.
Yeah, he's raw too.
Yeah.
I don't know.
They lost Bargnani.
I just feel like there are a couple. They just. I don't know exactly. I can't put my finger on it.
They need a superstar.
But I just don't believe in them. Yeah.
They need a really good big guy.
Yeah, I just don't.
Jonas Valanciunas.
Yeah, they have so like when you name their roster, you're like, okay, these guys are all solid guys. When they're all in the same, like, I feel like they're all like, oh, I wish this team had Terrence Ross. I wish this team had Rudy Gay. They'd be so much better. But I don't see them as a combined force. Being like, I see them as five guys who would be better other places.
You know who they are? They're Indiana 3 years ago.
Exactly.
Oh, I wish Hibbert was somewhere else. Oh,
And
I wish Granger was somewhere
And then
else.
they finally started clicking together.
Yeah.
This Paul George guy. I wish
Yeah.
he could
Oh,
do
Darren
it.
Collison.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, I have them at 10, which is not bad. I mean, it's right near the playoffs. They're the Toronto Raptors. I don't think they'd be. Obviously they'd be super sad if they finished 10 because they have probably high expectations. Now they have a guy like Rudy Gay, who, if you're high on, that's fine. I'm just not. That's why it's opinions.
I can do the game, man.
Rudy Gay, man.
Rudy Gay, not this guy. No.
Did you already say you're 10 or are you on 10?
I said to my was Washington. My number 9 might be same as your number 9, Charlotte. Oh, I guess Charlotte higher. You're lower.
No, I already said Charlotte.
Okay.
Charlotte was my 13.
Oh yeah. I'm higher on Kemba, I think, than you are.
Mm-hmm.
I'm higher on Michael Kidd-Gilchrist.
I love Michael Gilchrist.
I'm higher on Big Al.
I'm not.
They just don't have the guys in the middle. They don't have the small forward, power forward guys. I'm sure I'm skipping on some guys' names right now who are all right, but their front court is mediocre. They have guys who can block some shots in Bismarck, who is still years away from being solid. We hope he develops into someone like Ibaka. Even then, like, what's good Serge Ibaka on a team that sucks?
Yeah, he's one of those dudes.
Yeah, he's not Larry Sanders by any means. Larry Sanders gets some boards like no one's business.
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe in him all that much, but I still think they're going to be better than Washington.
Mm-hmm. Number 9?
Who's your 10? Or 9? Yeah, 9.
I'm proud of this because it's my number 9, and I'm proud that you have them higher because this is my sleeper of the NBA season. I just didn't have it in me to put them any higher. Cleveland Cavaliers, number 9.
Do I have them a little bit higher?
This is a team where I could see finishing 9th as I put them, or finishing 4th or 5th because they're so super raw.
Yeah.
They have Kyrie Irving, who is one of the he's unreal amounts of good.
Top 15 in the NBA at this point.
Oh, easily.
Yeah.
Easily. You got Kyrie Irving, you got Bergeau. Anthony Bennett has absolutely zero pressure.
Yeah.
He can just come in, do his thing, hit some threes because he can work on his threes.
You still have Tristan Thompson.
Do his thing. Tristan Thompson. I mean, they have a roster where it's like, okay, I can see where these guys are going to start, clicking together. And, oh my gosh, I totally just went totally blank. Oh my gosh, I hate that. It came in my head, and I was about to say the thing that's going to, oh my gosh, played for Syracuse. Syracuse basketball. He's on the Cleveland Cavaliers. It was on the tip of my tongue. I was just about to say Dion Waiters is about to go 8. Yeah. He is about to be. him and Kyrie together are about to be John Wall and Bradley Beal if John Wall and Bradley Beal were much better.
Yeah. Exactly.
So I'm
I have
Cavs
them
are
much
my
higher.
Cavs are my 9, but like I said, they are my team where they have, and I'm just going because I think it's going to be like it's going to take a while to click, and I just don't think I think next year they're higher up, but
You're away. Makes
yeah, I
sense.
just have them at 9.
So we're on 8 now?
If you already say you're 9,
Why 9 with Charlotte?
then yes, we're on 8.
You want to go first? Let me go first.
I'll go because you already said this team way low. I'm going Atlanta Hawks. I'm much higher on them. Jeff Teague, Lou Williams, Paul Millsap, Al Horford, Kyle Korver. They have a good outside game. They have a good inside game. They got a floor general in Jeff Teague. They got the shooters in Lou Williams and Kyle Korver. They got the bigs are getting boards in Millsap and Horford. Millsap and Horford both have pretty good low post offensive games, more so Horford. Horford just needs to stay healthy. But I see them as the 8 seed squeaking into the playoffs.
I see Detroit as that 8 seed sweeping into the playoffs.
I have them higher.
I like Brandon Jennings and I
That's my
like
team.
Josh Smith. And the rest of their team is just so
Kyle Singler.
exactly. It's so Kyle Singler.
It's so Kyle Singler.
That's what it is, and that's the part. I want to see Brandon Jennings on a team with 4 Josh Smiths. You just want Brandon Jennings to score.
Yep.
When Josh Smith's trying to score, not good things happen.
No.
And I think he's going to be too much of an offensive importance for this team. It's going to scale back from everything else he can do.
Yeah.
They're going to ask him to score when they should be asking him to defend, get rebounds, block shots, get steals, run the floor, dunk on everybody, and just be a solid stat sheet filler. They're going to ask him to try to score 20. I don't think they can do that. I think they're going to fall along the way.
Mhm.
But at the same time, they have too much talent to not make the playoffs.
Yeah. My 7, I had the Wizards, which
8?
I think you already talked about. No, 8. My 8 was Hawks.
Oh, yeah. Your 7's Wizards. Okay.
Yeah, my 7's Wizards. You already talked about them, right?
You just think they're a little bit better.
Yeah, I believe in John Wall. I think I like Bradley Beal a little bit more, even though he's a little. If he gets it right to where he just does this thing and just shoots. Like towards the end of last season, he was shooting out of this world.
Wasn't Wall hurt, though?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If they can find a way to mix that together, where Wall's the driver, he kicks, and maybe Otto Porter decides he's going to slash every so often to just try to be better than what he is.
Do it at Georgetown.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't know what they were doing. I mean, they just saw the name Otto Porter and they're like, oh, he was good in college, even though he fits nothing in our team. But let's
They
give it
saw
a
him.
try.
Saw he looks like a solid NBA player. He looks like George Gervin. You look like George Gervin. You're on our
Oh
team.
my
So.
god! Yeah, so I have Wizards at 7,
Ooh.
just a little bit ahead.
You know, I have at 7. This is going to make a lot of people really mad, and I don't care. I have the New York Knicks.
Okay, I don't have them that much higher.
Okay, good. You guys aren't that good. I'm sorry. I don't like Melo. I don't think Melo is going to carry you guys anywhere because he's going to shoot you out of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
JR is going to shoot you out of games. Bargnani's going to be sitting on your bench when you should be
Ooh.
prospering.
Can I go time out real quick?
Yes, go.
Can you just process this in your head right now? Everything
Uh-huh.
you just said. I've heard Laker fans really say that they're going to get Carmelo Anthony,
What's the
combine
point?
him with Kobe Bryant, and they're going to win the finals next year.
What's the point? No, they're
That
not.
is the worst combo you could ever put on a basketball floor.
I think I think Sacramento's trying to do that with Chris Vasquez and Isaiah Thomas.
Yeah. I'm just saying that
Oh,
Carmelo
we're
Anthony,
superstars, yeah.
Carmelo Anthony and Kobe Bryant
No,
are the
mix.
2 worst superstars you could mix
Do not
together.
mix.
But yeah, that's just I had to just go in there while you were saying shooting him out of games. It just made me think, yeah, let's put him with another guy who wants to shoot 30 times a game.
You guys really think Paolo Prignoli's the answer? Exactly.
He's not Allen
Exactly.
Iverson.
I don't. They were an easy team to pick here because I don't think they're going to do a whole lot.
Mm.
So we're on 6 now. Do you want me to go first?
No, wait, that was your 7?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll go first because you already said this team. My 6 is the Pistons, just a little higher. You got him at 8?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love Brandon Jennings. I have a Brandon Jennings jersey from his rookie year. Josh Smith is just, again, I put Josh Smith again in that category with guys like Iguodala, Rudy Gay. He does a little bit of everything, but he's not great at one thing except dunking, which isn't a stat. He just does everything so well. He's a five tool guy. Just don't let him shoot threes. Josh Smith, remember when you stopped shooting threes and then you went back to it? No, go back to not shooting threes. drive slash offensive board, score, do all that stuff. You got, and Brandon Jennings, I hope they just let him be great because I love that guy. So I have them at number 6 in the East.
You know, I have it number 6. We're going to appreciate this one. And my 4 through 6 are going to be separated by 2 wins. I'm going to throw it out there right now. My 6 is Cleveland.
Oh, I respect that.
Yeah. And it's weird because I think they can be as high as 4.
You know what? Dan Gilbert, fuck. Dan Gilbert is the only thing holding me back from having a Kyrie Irving jersey because I will not represent that team on my body.
Yeah, exactly.
I love their roster. I just wish they were owned by a different guy.
They're great. They have everything you want out of a team. Mm-hmm. They're fun to watch.
Oh, they are.
They can go toe for toe with Indiana when it comes to the front court.
Yeah, they're
who else
guys.
Can say that?
Not a lot of people.
San Antonio.
Yeah, that's
maybe. I think San Antonio can. Trying to look through. Houston was going to try to say they can do it. I would take the Cavaliers front court over the Houston front court. Varejao has been sneaky underrated.
Well, yeah, Varejao and Joakim Noah are in my thing of I would love to have them on my team.
Yeah, but until they are, you can't like them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Exactly, yeah. And I appreciate you for saying that way. Have you said your 6 yet?
Yeah, that was Detroit.
Okay.
My number 5, you already said it, so I'll say it. New York Knicks. You had them at 6? 7, yeah. New York Knicks. They are the NBA version of the Dallas Cowboys.
100%. When you started saying the NBA version of, I was going to say the Dallas Cowboys.
They don't have leadership. Carmelo is
too.
Yeah. It's just Carmelo is just not. Carmelo is not who we thought he was. No. It's funny because everyone understands. No one's going to debate Carmelo Anthony is lethal scoring the basketball. But think of how far it's come when the first couple, maybe 2 years, it was him and LeBron.
Oh, yeah.
They are going to be the neck. They are it. They're going to be
as much crap as we gave LeBron for not establishing his game to the NBA.
And then I think what happened was that LeBron, although he stayed, he got better at what he was good at and didn't improve on what he needed to improve on for those first couple years. Yeah. But he improved on what he was already good at so much that he just left Carmelo in the water, and it gave Carmelo so many excuses because no one put him at that level anymore.
Yeah.
So it's just like, but yeah, they have no leadership. J.R. Smith is like the Des Bryant of the NBA, even though Des Bryant and Kyrie Irving need to get a birth test because they probably have the same mother. And
Marquise Lee says, the son of Michael Jordan.
Yeah, that is so great.
In your mind right now.
But yeah, it's nuts. So yeah, I have them. I don't buy the Knicks hype at all. I never have.
You have them at 6?
Yeah, I have them at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wait, 5.
5. Okay.
5. Yeah, Pistons were 6.
So my 5 and 4, I'll talk about both right now because they're interchangeable. I think that Brooklyn will get the nod in the regular season, but I'm picking Toronto over them in the.
Oh, you do have Toronto way higher.
I have Toronto. I have Toronto at 5 and Brooklyn at 4. But in the playoff matchup I had for those two play against each other, I have Toronto winning that.
Okay.
That's a mean mess. That's who you don't want when you're Brooklyn. You're old.
Not at all.
You're old. You have a lot of old guys up front who don't want to run, and that's who the Raptors are. They are a running team.
Oh,
they can go small ball and put Rudy Gay at the 4, DeRozan at the 3, and Ross at the 2, Lowry at the 1. Then Bogdani at the 5. And that right there is like Drake basketball where he's running the 4 out. You can't stop that when they get on. Because all those guys can slash and shoot. But the thing that kind of was holding me back a little bit, they're thin. They don't have a lot of room for error because even though they have 2 shooting guards, if one of them goes down, you're going to expect DeRozan to play 14 minutes a game and be effective? No. He's going to be effective playing 34. He's going to be effective when Ross plays 28. You're going to put Gay on the floor for 36, 37. Lowry's going to get a whole lot of PT. He'll be worn out by the playoffs, but he's an underrated guy in the NBA when it comes to getting buckets and getting production.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're better than Brooklyn. I don't buy the Brooklyn hype enough to where I'd say that they're a team that can contend at this point. They'll get bounced in the first round. Sorry, Jason Kidd. This is not the team you want to do it with. I don't believe in Paul Pierce at this point anymore. We're talking. You're saying how in our West review how you think Manu's done. I think Paul Pierce is done.
Mhm.
KG is not Tim Duncan by any means. They play so stylistically differently that while Duncan's allowed to survive and prosper,
Mhm.
Garnett just plays at such a ferocious level. I don't think he can withstand it. I don't think he can handle it. And Darren Williams, I don't think he can carry him. I think Lowry's as good as him. Now, are you guys going to sit there and say that Williams has all these different stats that are better?
How many teams have Kyle Lowry been on where you've got to see him as a legit person yet? I mean, his last year on the Rockets,
Like he carried them into
he
the playoffs.
really did.
He carried them.
Look at, Go back and look. And how do I know that? I'll admit I know this because of fantasy
He was
basketball.
on my team.
But you go back and look at the things that Kyle Lowry was doing with the Rockets that year, and it was just like,
He was a 17. He was
This
an
dude is
18, 7,
raw.
7 guy
yeah, he was unreal.
with 2 steals. And
Mhm.
he plays as good as the stats make him out to be. He's
Yeah.
not a guy who's getting on there.
I think
He
he's
shoots
like-
efficient from the field, shoots efficient from 3, can get to the free throw line.
He's like a less athletic but better at basketball Eric Bledsoe.
Exactly.
You're just, that's my comparison for him.
Yeah.
So that's your 5-4. So I'm
Yeah.
on 4.
Yeah.
My 4 is Brooklyn. Not ahead of the other guys, but I think they have enough. Kevin Garnett's just going to hit that damn free throw jumper like he always hits and doesn't miss it. I think Darren Williams will do enough, and they'll just the East is. I can see them get to the 4 seed and just get bounced out quick second round. But
Who's your 5?
New York. So
that'll be a fun matchup.
I don't even want to predict who would win that series, but am I biased against the Nets? Absolutely. Why? Because most of their players are in my top least 5 favorite players in the NBA. I hate Paul Pierce. I hate Kevin Garnett.
Yeah.
I hate Darren Williams, not for his fault, mostly because he played in Utah and everyone tried to convince me that he was better than Chris Paul and better than Kobe Bryant, and better than
Derrick
Dwayne Wade,
Rose.
and better than LeBron. Exactly. So that's not his fault. I just have always pissed him off for that. I always don't like him for that. And Joe Johnson is just, I don't know how I feel about Joe Johnson. He's just
once he got paid, he didn't want to.
He sold out.
100%. He lost the first step.
He lost the love of the game. Exactly. He's just he just has such a slow, like he gets the ball on the threes.
Yeah.
It's like you can't be doing that, man. See, I have them at 4, and then 3. This is where our 3-2s might be the same, might be swapped. I'm not sure.
They probably at this point. I'm pretty sure
I mean, we have the same 3 teams left. I just don't know if it's the same order. Who's your 3?
Indiana.
I have Chicago. So you go.
I have Indiana. So I think Indiana's better. I think Chicago has more to prove. The same way I picked Oklahoma City to finish higher in the regular season, but get bounced in the playoff. That's going to be Chicago this year because Rose is going to come out with a whole lot to prove. Joakim Noah's got a whole lot to prove.
Yeah.
Jimmy Butler is going to prove that he wants to get all those minutes. Then you got Luol Deng. You got Carlos Boozer. All these guys who are guys you don't want on your team because I don't think they can come through for you.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, when you got Indiana, who's my 2, they got guys who will go to bat. They got guys who will go to war. They got war daddies, baby.
Yeah.
They got George Hill running the point. That's that war daddy point guard.
Mm-hmm.
He's good at everything, but great at nothing. He is exactly what you want out of a war daddy point guard.
Mm-hmm.
They got so many guys who can go from that 2 to the 4 because they have Paul George who can play shooting guard and power forward.
Yeah.
Same with Danny Granger.
Absolutely.
And then you got the big guys up front. You got the war daddy himself, David West, gets no respect at all, disrespected by everybody.
Mm-hmm.
When you're talking about guys who are top 10 in the post,
Yeah.
top 5 in the post,
Mhm.
maybe. I think he's not that good, but I think Roy Hibbert is that good. When it comes to centers, pure centers, he might be number 1.
Yeah.
I would cut that promo for days. I think they're better. I think they win that playoff series, but I don't know why I didn't pick them 2 now that I think about it. I'm going to switch that right here, right now. We have
So now we do have the same 3-2.
Yeah.
Pretty much for the same reasons he said. Derrick Rose, just because I don't like the guy, I'm not going to discount how good he is at basketball. He is a basket baller. And he's going to come back, shot out of a cannon. You saw he's been playing in preseason. He's splitting 5-man defenses. I just think he's coming off.
Saw the jokes.
He's coming off a year off. He's going to get worn down quick. Like you said, it's hard to win when your best player is a scoring point guard because it's like
You have to build your team around it.
exactly, and they're
and you
kind
live
of
and die
built
by him.
around him, and yeah, so I have him at 3. I just, as a Miami Heat fan, give me the Chicago Bulls. As a Miami Heat fan, do not give me who I have at number 2, which is the Indiana Pacers. I mean, like you said, I think this is the year. He already started it last year, but I remember a lot of years ago, you said this is where Derrick Rose breaks into the top 10 players in the NBA.
I was one of those roommates who was working on his jump shot.
This year is my Paul George moment. I have him in the top 10 players after this year's over. I think we'll all look back and go, yeah.
Everything's there, and it's about to come together. You can see it coming together, and when
Yeah.
it clicks, Danny
Yeah.
Granger, I hope this is kind of why. I hope Danny Granger takes a step back.
So that Paul George can take a step up because
Yeah,
he's
exactly.
so much better than Danny Granger. Oh my gosh.
And if he's your best player and Rose is Chicago's best player, almost a wash.
Yeah.
And that's scary.
It's
'Cause
getting to that point,
when your small forward is your best player and you can do whatever you want with them, you can win a whole lot of games.
Yeah, and you just look at Paul George, you got Roy Hibbert, you got the big, not David West. And the Pacers' big gripe was, no one ever sees us play. You've played the Heat enough in the playoffs past 2 years. I've seen you play. David West is by far very, very. He is very, very high on the list, like you were saying. I don't know why he gets no credit because he wears out Miami, and Roy Hibbert wears out Miami.
It's because when you see David West play, you don't see Blake. People probably out there probably think Blake Griffin's better than David West
and Zach Randolph because he's flashy.
Yeah.
No.
Gazebo sold some drugs and Griffin can dunk. If you were the Clippers GM and you called up Indiana and said, "I'll give you Blake Griffin for David West straight
They're
up,"
saying no.
they're not even for the future implications. They say no.
Yeah, they're
straight
saying
up.
no.
They hang up on you. That's their guy.
Mm-hmm.
And if you try to do the same thing with DeAndre Jordan and Roy Hibbert, they will laugh you out of the building.
That's what's fun. You think
how many people would you trade for Roy Hibbert in the NBA?
What do you mean?
Like, how many people would the Pacers accept? Is there any center that they would take over Roy Hibbert?
No, because I don't think they want the distraction of Dwight Howard.
No, not really.
They don't want the injury risks of Bynum. Are you talking strictly centers? No, they don't.
Strictly centers, strictly power forwards, even. No,
I don't think so.
and that's what.
Maybe LaMarcus Aldridge, because that would be too nasty.
What if if West and LaMarcus Aldridge would be such a nice deal?
Yeah, but you look at power forwards.
LaMarcus Aldridge is really good.
Yeah, but the Pacers are just, and they're so big across the board.
They can line up on you scary because George Hill's 6'4".
Oh,
They can put Granger at the 2. He's 6'8". Paul George is 6'9".
well, that's what's so
He
crazy
runs
about
6'10".
the one thing that he can do to every team but the Pacers is put LeBron at the 4. Problem. And post people up. Problem. The Pacers put David West on LeBron in the post, and LeBron doesn't want any part of that. He's like, that's too tiring. And the thing that they have the combo with that no one else can do is they had Lance Stevenson on Wade and Paul George on LeBron, and then the 2 and 3, and then if LeBron moves to the 4, he has to guard David West, and David West is wearing him down, and LeBron's like, I'm done with this. This isn't very fun.
Exactly.
And they have so many counters for everything they can do. What
They're the ultimate chess team,
they really are, and
it's ridiculous. I mean,
it's nuts. They
you
just
know
have
what you're going to get from all of these players.
Lance Stevenson. People forget he was the #1 high school player coming out of his class.
Not only that, he did really well in the playoffs last year.
Oh, he came out of nowhere.
They talk about the whole incident with Juwan Howard.
That was 2 years ago.
That was 2 years ago, and that's what people think about
to
most.
see what he came. Oh, he was tearing it up. He was hitting threes for days.
I thought New York was going to win that series.
He reminds me a lot of Antoine Walker, only because when Antoine Walker was on the Heat and he would get the ball and start dribbling. Oh, I mean, in Meta World Peace, it's like shit, and then he makes a layup. You're like, how the hell did you get through all those guys? That is Lance Stevenson. He would just run, and you're like, what the hell? And they would just layups. I'm like, stop? What are you doing? But yeah, they just have so many layers to their team where they can be this kind of team, they can be this kind of, like, they can be so many different things. Like against the Bulls, all right, let's just flip this over here, do this over here, do whatever.
Think about personality-wise too. Like, they have the right type of guys.
They're just mean.
Paul George doesn't want to be the 10th best player in the NBA. He wants to be the best.
Absolutely. That's what you need.
Danny Granger.
That's the thing I notice
win.
about the NBA nowadays compared to.
There's too many teams that aren't like the Pacers.
And
the Pacers are exactly
back when Jordan played, everyone knew they could not be as good as Michael Jordan. That did not stop them from trying.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Now, everyone's okay with, like, I'm probably the 7th best player in the league. That's pretty tight. I think that's okay.
They're cool with the
I'm not
followers
gonna
of that.
be as good as LeBron and Durant or those guys. I'm not gonna be as good as Kobe. So that's okay. No, the Pacers have dudes where, in the back farthest parts of their head, they might know. Okay, I'm not
Roy Hibbert wants to be the best center of all time.
exactly.
He has all the tools, too, and it's scary.
And even if you can't be, you have to have that mindset.
Oh, yeah.
And they have a bunch of guys that have that mindset, so it just works out for them.
And they all have something to prove, too.
Yeah. So
That's why you put them at 2. You can't not put the remaining champs at number 1. You can't.
mhm.
You can't do it. There's a reason why Miami won the championships, and it's because they are, hands down, without a doubt, one of the best teams ever assembled.
Literally, and they're finally starting to figure that out.
Yeah, they're finally. For years, I was waiting for, almost like we were talking about with Danny Granger taking a step back so Paul George can shine.
Yeah.
When Wade was starting to prove that he was the number 2 guy,
hmm
it was kind of rough. The first couple of years were rough.
Yeah.
Last year when he took a step back,
Oh,
and LeBron did
man.
LeBron, it was unbelievable. If you watch the Grantland predictions with Bill Simmons and Jalen Rose, they put up this little diagram chart of LeBron James and say how much better he is than everyone else in different spots of the court.
Yeah.
There's not a better finisher near the rim,
No.
and he is getting so good at shooting threes.
hmm
Don't give him respect for that.
And mid range.
Yeah.
They it took LeBron to make me realize it because last year when they were talking about how he hit that game winner in the finals,
Yeah.
and they're like, he's talking, he's like, my jumper had been kind of off, and then I just kind of looked back and I looked at my stats and I'm like, wait a minute, I shot 60-something% from this. I didn't take it a lot, but I'm one of the best mid range shooters in the game this season. He got his confidence back, and the play where he goes, boom, runs past him, drain.
So
And they win the NBA Finals,
when
Game
you have
7.
when you have a guy who can score from deep, can score from mid range, can score near the hoop, and can pass that well,
And you surround him with one of the best slashers in Dwayne Wade,
Yeah.
one of the best four-man shooters, one of the best stretch fours.
who's playing the 5 for small ball for this.
You
season.
have the best, no offense, Reggie Miller, but the best three-point shooter. Definitely.
Ray Allen, best 50-point shooter of all
Oh
time.
my gosh. And after
And that doesn't go away. The thing about
that's
Wade
what we were
is
talking. Yeah, that's the problem with Wade is as
Yeah.
he gets older,
It's
he
gonna
is
go.
he is still yet to develop the jump shot, which is what I was always scared about for LeBron. LeBron completely. I'm not worried about that anymore after last year and the year
Oh.
before. But yeah, Wade, he just cannot. He can't, and he still has enough left. I almost hope they let Dwayne Wade sort of be treat him like he's Tim Duncan.
yeah,
give him time
24 minutes a game.
Because if he ever gets back to 80% of what he was at his peak with the LeBron James we have now, it is an absolute wrap.
Oh yeah,
It is an absolute wrap because they're winning finals with Dwayne Wade at 60% of what he was at his highest.
Yeah.
Because he had that one game in the finals last year where try this. Okay, this spoke.
you're the biggest Wade fan in the world.
Nothing
too.
has ever spoke to the greatness that is LeBron James than the game in the final. I think it's game 5.
Yeah.
No, game 4. I think it was game 4. Where Dwayne Wade is going off and he's just scoring at will on the Spurs. Scoring and scoring. He has 24, 26. He's up to 29 points. And you're just like, this is the most unreal. Dwayne Wade is back.
Yeah.
And you're feeling like Dwayne Wade just had one of his best performances in years. LeBron James had a quiet 31 that game.
Yeah,
And it's just like,
and it
at
was
the end you look at the stats and you're like, ain't no way that dude outscored that guy.
and watching it too. You sat there, and when LeBron was when he's going off, LeBron was super pumped.
Oh,
And that's when people talk about how LeBron's not the competitive Michael Jordan.
it's because they're best friends.
It's
These
be-
two are brothers.
It's because LeBron understands the psyche of the players around him.
hmm
He doesn't want Wade to hate him. He
Yeah.
doesn't want Wade to be like, oh, I don't like you. He wants Wade to play his best.
You don't think LeBron James could do whatever the hell LeBron James wants to
We
do at
talked about
any
this.
given
He
time
could go to Milwaukee next year and average 50 points a game.
if he wanted to,
Yeah,
literally.
And not make the playoffs. And not
And you
care.
say, 50 points, that's Melo averaged 28. Dwayne Wade averaged 31 a game.
But when Kobe averaged 37, I thought nothing was ever going to top that. LeBron's the only person that can do that.
Because how many times during a game do you see LeBron James for 8 straight plays just drive recklessly to the hoop, score, make it look as easy as he can, and you go, why doesn't he do that every play?
Yeah.
because if he did that every play, that's not his game.
Exactly.
That's not his game.
If he does that 3 plays in a row, all of a sudden,
Everyone's like, okay.
the people on his team are going to be like, okay, when's he going to give me the ball, and they're not going to be prepared.
That's why
he hates
LeBron
people.
James is the perfect superstar for any team. You put him on any team, he automatically makes everyone around him better because he puts them in the exact spot they need to be.
Yeah.
I'm going to drive to this lane. In doing so, this guy is going to help off of Ray Allen, which you do not do.
Yeah.
But at the same time, as that defender, you're thinking, shoot.
We talked about this at Beta.
LeBron, yeah, it's like, okay, if I don't help, LeBron one-on-one, you're not going to stop him. Well, this guy's farther away. You're getting to the point where you're thinking it's a smart idea to help off the best three-point shooter of all time.
Yeah, exactly.
It doesn't make sense.
We talked about this when we were at Beta's, how the reason why the Sixers could even put together an Eastern Conference Championship team was because Iverson was so good, and everyone else believed in what Allen Iverson could do.
Yeah.
There was no one thought they were better than Allen Iverson. No one thought that was their team. Eric Snow didn't think it was his team. Aaron McKee didn't think it was his team. Theo Ratliff, Dikembe Mutombo were both happy blocking shots.
Mm-hmm.
And Iverson was able to just be Iverson.
Yeah.
That was the biggest thing when the Heat, like the first year with the Heat, like
Yeah,
it was like, is it Wade's team? Bosh is not used to doing any of this. He was the man ever since he started playing basketball.
Mm-hmm.
But LeBron was like, well, is it their team or is it my team?
Yeah, LeBron was. It was almost to the point where LeBron was like doubting, not doubting himself, but he's like, well, I don't know what this team needs. It's like it took him a while to figure out what they wanted and needed him to be. Because at some points in the season he'd go drop 45, and it's like, okay, I dropped 45, we won by 6.
Yeah.
You know, so that's kind of give or take. Then he drop a triple double, they won by 30. It's like, okay, this kind of makes more sense. You get everybody involved.
Yeah.
So it took, and now I've seen people say, oh, well, I mean, you know, they've got their titles. They're not hungry anymore. They're just going to coast.
No.
When you win 27 games in a row, do you know how much fun they were having?
Yeah.
They wanted 33 so bad. They didn't start talking about it until like it got to like 23, 20. But then they're like, okay, you don't think they want to try to do that again? You don't think they can do that now that they've had more year together? They lost no pieces, and they gained Michael Beasley, who can score and score and score. He just needs to keep his head on straight.
Oh, yeah.
And if they sit out Greg Oden every game of the season, shout out to Logan, back from basketball practice, speaking about basketball, Greg Oden, he doesn't play a game all year. I don't even care. Put him in the playoffs, just say stand in front of Roy Hibbert.
Yeah.
Just stand there. Just get a board every so often.
You know, when I talked about Brandon earlier, when he came back and did that, that was all off basketball knowledge and the fact that he was able to do that at some point.
Yeah.
Greg Oden has 2 of those games left in him.
Absolutely.
People forget how good he was.
Turn on
the national championship.
No. Don't even do that too. Don't even do that. Look up his NBA highlights.
Yeah.
When he was healthy his final game in the NBA was against the Miami Heat. You know how many rebounds he had in that game? 21. It was 20 or 21 rebounds and like 6 blocks.
He was an enforcer.
If he would have stayed healthy, we wouldn't be talking about is Dwight Howard the best. It wouldn't be close.
Oh yeah.
Greg Oden, he had post moves. He had finesse with the right, finesse with the left. He was ambidextrous.
Bigger. He was almost as athletic, but he didn't build his game off athleticism, so he was able to take a pounding in the game.
Now that you think about the national championship, just finish it with the right. Finish it with the left.
He had a broken right hand,
Mm-hmm.
and he was shooting.
He taught himself to shoot left-handed.
Greg Oden is great, but you know, we've settled up. And I'll go through my Eastern playoff things real quick. Miami versus Detroit, Miami wins. Chicago versus Detroit, Chicago wins. Indiana versus Cleveland, Indiana wins. Brooklyn versus Toronto, Toronto wins. Miami-Toronto is going to be a solid series. It's a weird matchup for the Heat, but I think Miami coasts there. Chicago-Indiana, I think Indiana is the team. Miami versus Indiana, Miami's going to beat them. So now my finals are Miami against Golden State.
Mine is Miami against Spurs again.
Yeah. How close was mine to happen? It was real close.
Oh, it really was.
Yeah.
I thought Steph Curry was going to do it.
And if you look at that matchup right there is perfect.
That's a nuts matchup.
Because
you think Dwayne Wade wants to run around with Steph Curry?
Not at all.
Are you kidding me?
Not at all.
You think LeBron James wants to? I mean, because Iguodala wants to run around too. Then Iguodala, no one can guard LeBron James. Kevin Durant learned that.
But Iguodala might be the only person in the NBA who
Paul
can put
George.
up a good shot. Yeah, those
Paul
two.
George, yeah, those two are the 2 dudes I think of when I think of guys that can guard LeBron in the sense of the word.
David Lee is almost like that same pseudo David West. They're going against almost the same team
Yeah,
twice in a
it's
row.
pretty much it's a
But
with better shooters.
Oh, it's great. They go against the same front court almost because Bogut is
Yeah.
a monster in there too.
Because the thing about the Pacers is you can double down on all the low post guys, and the only guy you have to worry about covering is Paul George. Really, I mean George Hill had get up a couple threes. You can't double off Steph Curry, Harrison Barnes, Klay Thompson. Like you just can't.
Yeah.
So yeah, that would be a fun. I can't wait for the regular season games between those two teams.
Oh yeah, because I something about the Warriors too. Like they're not like the Pacers at all.
Mm-hmm.
But if you watch them play, they played like that. They played like a team that was better than they thought they were, and that's how they got better. When they turned on the second half of that season, the first half of the season it was Second half of the season, Steph Curry was like, "Why am I not an All-Star?" And Mark Jackson's like, "Show him every night.
Yeah.
Put on the jumping clinic
No, it
with
was
the jumpers." And he took off, and he carried them. And they were. But the thing about jump shooting teams, can they get hot 4 or 7 games?
Yeah,
I don't
that's
think
what's
they
tough.
can.
That's what's tough.
That's the part. That's the part that's scary about the Warriors is they post scoring is not enough. They need the perimeter scoring. But LeBron getting to the paint, it's complete 75% from there.
Exactly.
No one else is better.
That's the problem. Is
He can do.
the Heat aren't going to be able to stop the Warriors. The Warriors have no chance stopping the Heat's offense.
Not at all. They have to outscore.
It's going to be it would be one of the most entertaining series of all time.
Oh yeah, it's almost like it's the Heat.
And you want to know what the scary thing is? Do you really want to see LeBron James in a shootout where LeBron James says,
Yeah.
I don't want to score 50. I have to score 50.
Exactly.
Have you seen Game 6 against the Pacers? Have you seen Game 6 against the Celtics where he goes, you know what? We're 1 game away from the nation. I might just go drop one of the best playoff performances of all time. That would be every game.
Imagine that in the finals.
That would be every game.
The thing about the Warriors too is the Warriors are the ultimate momentum 3-point shooting team. They make 2 in a row, and everyone at Golden State's going nuts. If they're on the road, the entire road is silent.
Yeah.
But what if LeBron answered back at him?
Oh, and you know he could.
So they're in Golden State. Steph Curry nails a 3. LeBron nails a 3. Steph Curry nails another 3. LeBron nails another 3.
No, so they double LeBron.
Who's burning the timeout?
No one.
Exactly. Mark Jackson's going to keep letting them shoot.
Because you don't want him to get
That's going to break the internet because we're all going to sit there, and that's going to be LeBron's test.
Yeah.
His test is going to be Steph Curry if they make it there, and if not, if they're playing the Spurs, it's going to be can he take the beating?
Can he grind it one more time?
Because he's going to that Pacer series is going to be a grind.
I think the Heat would pray to play the Warriors more than the Spurs, only because they would just be coming off the Pacers, and you don't want to do that again. That was 14 straight games of grind out for LeBron. He was just like, bro, this sucks.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, and then I think LeBron and even Wade, because Wade would just be like, yeah, slashing on everybody.
Yeah,
he would get the be Dwayne Wade again.
Yeah,
they would just be score. Bosh would be hitting mid range. You got Ray Allen out here. Norris Cole is going to be starting point guard by the All-Star break. Nothing against Mario Chalmers. Norris Cole is just about to be that dude if they don't trade him.
LeBron loves Norris Cole.
Oh, he really does.
And he's going to be the one calling the shots at some point.
Oh, absolutely.
Even though they talk about Pat Riley, it's LeBron's team.
Think about it. Yeah. Especially in contract year.
Oh.
You don't think they're going to listen to LeBron? They're going to do what the hell he wants to.
Exactly.
So, yeah,
the basketball mileage. They talk about this on the Grantland one as well.
Mm-hmm.
That's just something you got to throw out there. And it's almost in their favor. LeBron knows what it's going to take to get there. Rose hasn't felt it yet. Rose hasn't felt what it's like to go through the 82-game season and go and then... Because they're going to have to play the Pacers too. Even if they play the Heat in the semis and beat them, they have to play the Pacers.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's not like they're looking at the bottom part of the East. Hungry teams.
Oh, yeah.
Hungry teams I would want to take your lunch.
Mm-hmm.
Not as good as the West. That's gonna be the weird factor with the West. Is Portland's gonna make Portland and Minnesota and whoever else you have down there that makes it in the 7-8 games might scare you a couple weeks.
Oh yeah, but yeah. Mm-hmm. So yeah, we're done with that. So my finals prediction, I have Heat over Spurs.
We were both picking the Heat to be the champions, but it's not like it's us making the safe pick. Me at least, it's the logical pick. But at the same time,
It's like
we understand the severity.
It's like you get to that point where it's like, oh, safe pick. You're taking the easy pick. Well, yeah, it's easy for a reason.
Yeah, exactly.
It's easy because look at their team. Like, I don't know. All I'm saying is we're a couple of years away from the. You think the LeBron Michael Jordan talk's big now? We're a couple of years away at this rate where it's gonna be a serious thing about the Michael Jordan LeBron James talks. Because my dear Lord, this man is. Oof.
So if you haven't subscribed at this point,
Probably should.
we're gonna leave this up there the entire time. If you clicked it off, it's fine.
I respect
If you
it.
clicked on that though, it'll instantly subscribe to you.
I respect that too.
Fast.
I respect that as well.
You will automatically subscribe to us, and every single time we put out a video of us talking about great things, it'll be right there on the left part.
Which you want to see, let's be honest.
Yeah, because we're great. And we're better at this. Do you want to film an NFL midseason review?
No.
No?
NFL doesn't exist. NFL is a mirage.
Do you want to talk about the AFC then?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we'll do that. Stay tuned for whatever else we do. Whatever else we do is going to be about as good as this, if not better. Probably not better, though. This has been 50 minutes of gold.
Basketball is my thing, guys.
Yeah.
I love baseball. I love football. Basketball is my zone.
Yeah. Sometimes when we get on these long-winded things, we've filled this with talking about every single team.
Mm-hmm.
So if you guys don't understand why our videos are this long and it deters you, don't. Just play it on your phone, put in some headphones, and walk down the house doing your chores.
You don't even have to watch it all at once.
Yeah.
Come back to it. It's in parts.
Exactly. And we don't want to break out in parts because we want it to be
That's
we're almost like a podcast.
Mm-hmm. We really are.
Yeah.
We're a visual podcast. We're a life podcast. We're a
personal
basketball
journal.
podcast.
Yeah. Anyway, subscribe. Thank you for watching. And let's root for a great NBA season.
Starts tomorrow. I'm more excited than most.
We film this on Monday. We'll probably put both parts up on Tuesday.
Yeah, we'll put it Tuesday. I trust you to put it up Tuesday morning, midday.
Yeah, might as well. Why
Okay.
not?
So yeah,
My Raw review, which is coming tonight, is going to be great. I haven't filmed it yet because Raw hasn't happened yet. But you'll see that before.
wrestling is back where it belongs, ladies and gentlemen. The arms of John and Randy.
Oh gosh,
I leave you with that.
I don't even say that.
I leave you with that.
That's what we're spreading our wings.
Goodbye.